In this video, I'm going to be talking about whether I would buy a new truck if this one fails or just rebuild the motor. This is a question I've been thinking about quite a bit because you just see on social media, people's trucks catching fire, blowing up, motors failing, and then just the insane lead times from Ford when it comes to getting a crate motor. But then on the other hand, you see the price tag of these new trucks and, diesel XLTs going for like $80,000. And it's like, what do you do? And so I've thought about this quite a bit, and I've come to the conclusion that if and when my 6.7 in my F-250 fails, I think I would probably just rebuild the motor, send it to an engine shop like Dave's Auto Center or somewhere else. I feel like for some people, this makes more sense than for others. My brother is a mechanic. I'm fairly technically inclined, and so I feel like I'd be able to get the motor out of the vehicle without having to take it to a shop and then get it shipped off to a place to have it be rebuilt. For some people, that isn't really an option, and so it kind of begs the question, is it worth just rebuilding an engine, or do you just go out and buy a whole new vehicle? And I guess if you've been following the channel for a while now, you know that, in my opinion, the best way to help the environment, help the planet, reduce waste, save money, is to keep the vehicle that you have and repair it. And that is why I started this channel. I really want to help people be able to keep their trucks on the road. If you buy a truck, pay it off, keep it for 20 years, emissions or not, you can get a lot of mileage out of a modern diesel vehicle if you take care of it properly. And so I really believe that to get the most out of a vehicle, you should be keeping it for a long time and not buying a car every 2 years or, anytime something bad happens to it. And I'm not faulting anyone for buying a new vehicle, right? At a certain point, we need to buy new vehicles. Our economy depends on it. But I also think if you really like the bones of your vehicle, if it's not rotted out, if you've put a lot of aftermarket parts into it, putting a new engine in a vehicle will probably be better off. You'll be better off doing that than you would just going out and buying a new one. And I even do the math myself. Go in debt, or do I want to try to come up with $14,000 to do an engine rebuild if my engine failed? And so when I looked at that myself, I'm like, I'd much rather, especially because I put a bunch of aftermarket parts like the fuel tank, diff cover, ball joints, shocks, all the stuff I've put into my truck. I don't want to throw that out and go back to start at square one with OEM Ford junk. Something with our culture and maybe just how easy it is to just buy new stuff. I really want to hear from you if you think you'd rebuild the motor in your vehicle and you'd be willing to put up with a month's worth of downtime in that vehicle. I realize that is also part of it. Doing an engine rebuild, you have to be willing to take the motor out and send it away for X number of days, and you're kind of at the mercy of whoever is rebuilding your engine in terms of when you're going to get it back. Whereas if you wanted to buy a new truck, you could just go out and buy one and you'll have it, and you don't really have to wait for somebody to rebuild your engine. But hey, let me know. I can see why it would be better if your motor failed catastrophically to just buy a new pickup truck and call it a day. Please leave a comment. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you here next time on Power Stroke Maintenance. Cheers.